Hey, Evan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am absolutely fantastic. Do you know what today is?
Really? It's Wolf Wednesday.
It's Wolf Wednesday, and it's also episode 8 of the Don't Wrestle a Neighbor podcast.
Episode 8. I'm only going to do this for 2 more episodes. Where I hold my fingers up.
Oh, yeah, because then after that, it'll be
Double
over.
digits.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, today is Wednesday, Wolf Wednesday in particular, which means that it is Spotlight. And so this weekend, I was in Denver, and I want to spotlight a movie that I saw.
Oh, you saw the movie in Denver?
Yes.
Did you see, was it IMAX?
It was IMAX, yeah.
Ooh.
And the movie was Dune.
We talked a little bit about this last week, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We were like, let's go see Dune.
We're going to go see it.
So you went this weekend?
I went this weekend.
Did you like it?
I absolutely loved it.
Really?
It's really big.
What'd you love about it?
I think the production of this movie was fascinating to me. I like the ability of green screen technology was fascinating, which is super cool. I think they didn't overdo anything, but I also felt the whole time that it was. I felt like it was big enough to keep your attention.
Yeah.
The acting was phenomenal. The storyline is really good. I think I like to read the books that are made into movies, and so I think I'm going to read them now.
Yeah.
But it's really, really fascinating. I just loved it. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I agree with everything you said. Interesting little fact about this movie. I've been seeing it circulate online that it cost less money to make Dune than it did Black Widow.
Which is so fascinating to hear that. Because
some of those, some of the sets that they shot on. And
do you know
some
where
of the
it was
stuff.
filmed?
It was a couple different.
Is the sand? Is it actual or is that?
Yeah,
okay.
they did film some of it in the legit desert. Yeah.
Okay, and you just don't know what desert it was.
I think it was in the United States somewhere.
Okay, so then probably
I think it was Southwest somewhere, like New Mexico or something.
Okay.
No, maybe not, because I don't think they have sandy deserts.
Maybe
there.
I would imagine it had to be in the Sahara, because the amount of sand that they had.
Well, the deep background sand was probably fake.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know, at least a certain portion of it. I don't know. I'd have to watch the behind the scenes.
If you know where it was filmed, please let us know.
Yeah, sure.
Because that would be pretty cool.
But yeah, it was just seeing some of the stuff that they did. It was just like, man,
the soundtrack.
It looks so good. It just looked so good, which is just a testament to the guy that made the movie.
It was Hans Zimmer who does the soundtrack of that movie, correct?
I think so. Yeah. And yeah, the sounds, and I was watching a thing about the music for the movie, and they were saying that he was making up, I guess he makes instruments.
Okay.
And he'll invents sounds just for some of those noises that he made.
That is amazing. Spotlight that. Wow.
Some of the noises that he made were just it was people screaming, but 100 people screaming that he just layered on top of layered on top of layered, and then distorted it.
That's so
and
amazing.
Made it a noise for something. And it's just some of the music and the sounds for that movie were just really, really cool. It's just in IMAX, you
feel it. You can hear it.
Yeah.
Whenever anything got loud, your seat is shaking.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Really cool. It was cool to see a sci-fi epic, but done in it feels very grounded,
right?
Because it takes place mainly on this one planet.
Where it didn't feel,
but
I didn't feel like there was things that were unnecessary.
I think a lot of sci-fi too, you are traveling through space, and there's not a ton, at least in the first movie, there's not a ton of space travel.
Correct.
They do travel through space, but it's not a part of the story. In Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever, they're traveling through space.
Well, they're saying that this is this generation's Star Wars. That it has the potential to be something like that.
I mean, it's got all the ingredients. I mean, this is one of the great sci-fi stories told by one of the great directors of our time. So with some of
great
the
actors
best actors and actresses that
Do you have a
are available
without spoiling too much of the movie because we want people to be able to watch it? Do you have a favorite scene of the first Dune movie?
Ooh, I haven't thought about this. I really enjoyed. Ooh, that would be a spoiler though.
I know, because I think I asked this question and then I thought of my favorite scene and it goes spoiler.
Yeah, big time spoiler. I would say I really enjoyed the scene. That's kind of a. Is every scene important? I think in this movie every scene is important.
Maybe this is a bad.
How about this? I really enjoyed the opening sequences on their home planet.
Okay.
I really loved how those looked, and like, I think it just helped me settle into the world a little bit. Of like, another interesting little thing about the movie that I didn't really think of until I was watching a little behind the scenes thing. There are no computers in this movie at all. So like that's a part of the story basically.
Yeah.
Is like there aren't like this is set in like a futuristic world, but there are no computers.
Right. Where the doctor
whatsoever.
The doctor like surveys the boy, does all his vitals with like just his touch of his hand.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I think that it does a very interesting thing to kind of ground the movie, and it feels futuristic without feeling
too far.
So far away that it's not like a future that you can't kind of get your head around.
Right.
Which is just fascinating, and it looked beautiful, and the story is really cool. And
yeah, it's almost overwhelming. Like, well, the same director did Arrival, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not love Arrival. I think it's a good film.
Yeah.
But I did not love it. And so I was kind of coming to that, but I had that big kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
But I really loved Dune. Yeah. But my favorite scene, all I'm going to say of it is the son puts his hand in the box. I think that is probably...
Which, I mean, for a lot of people, like, it's an old story, so a lot of people, you won't be able to spoil it because they've either read the book or watched the other movie. But, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's a really, really interesting... That's a super interesting
As
scene.
a person who is competitive with myself and... likes to play mental toughness games with myself all the time because I'm insane. That was awesome. Yeah, like watching that scene was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's a really important scene for the movie too.
So you would rate it what out of 10?
Oh man, well I've only seen it once.
Right.
I kind of want to watch it again.
I know.
At home.
I know. I'm gonna have to watch it again as well.
Off the cuff, because I really haven't given this any thought. I would say that. I rate movies a little bit differently because I kind of take into account the amount, like their rewatchability, which I think the rewatchability of this movie is extremely high.
I would agree.
I would give this a high rating. I would say probably like 8.5, 8.5.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably where I was going to go. I was probably going to go 8.5, simply because of like, I think watchability, one, but I think also
I think I do truly genuinely believe that the rating for this movie in my mind could climb.
I agree.
Which I don't like rating movies really. Because I've only seen it the once, and I think that there's so many good things in the movie, like little details that the characters do, that the sets do, that the story does. There's so many little details, and it's such a well-made movie that I think over time more stuff's gonna like reveal itself, and it's like gonna get more and more and
because like
more
for
rich.
me as a person who didn't read any books, like the first 45 minutes it's just you trying to put things together. You're trying to figure it out. But for me, I would say 8.5, and I would agree. I think after watching it, probably watching it a second time, I think it could climb up to a 9 for me,
because I wanted to watch it again like the next day.
Right, exactly, because there's so many things that you definitely do miss even if you're paying really close attention. But for me, I think the soundtrack, if you can, soundtracks can be awesome, right? But they have to be, almost feel like their own purpose. Yeah. Like, you take, what movie is it that you take the soundtrack? Oh, it's Star Wars, right? You take the sound out of the movie, and like the scene's not the same.
Yeah, it's totally different.
And I feel like for Dune, there's so much of that to where like things are happening.
There's some really cool stuff in
And
there.
it doesn't feel like things are just misplaced or things aren't important. Every scene that I watched in that movie, I felt like, yep, this is important.
Yeah. The last thing I think I'll say about it too is just like, from a storytelling perspective, I think it's anytime, and this is why like Nolan's films are so widely loved. And I think this movie does a great job of like telling a really big, really grand story, but it's this huge budget, this huge movie. It looks beautiful, but it's a human story,
Right.
And it like pulls at your heartstrings because it's like to a certain extent like a coming of age story, and it's like about these relationships, and which it kind of brings it down to this small, detailed kind of storyline about. I don't want to ruin anything.
Right. I mean, it's coming of age story with so much else going on.
But there's like a lot of like a mother-father or a mother-son relationship, a son-father relationship, like being what it means to be a leader,
who you are
and
versus
what you inherit, and
who you are versus whose you are. Like I think there's a lot of things that
there's just a lot of like really detailed, like the acting had to be on when you're on this big huge movie.
Well, in every
sometimes
character has that.
You can get ate up by like what the scene is or like what the set is.
Right.
But it does a really good job of making a lot of these scenes that are about relationships and are about these kind of intimate feelings come down and be small.
I agree.
On these parts where it needs to be small.
That's really good.
So yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool.
Yeah. Great movie. I'd recommend it for sure. Yeah, it's fantastic. So
yeah.
Anywho, other thing we're gonna spotlight today is I'm wearing a hat. What does this hat say, Evan?
It says Squared Up Golf, this is a I've swung a golf club.
Yep.
I've driven golf balls into the field behind my house.
To the field behind.
Drove.
Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Steered. But I haven't like played a lot of rounds of golf, and you've been trying to get me to play golf a little more.
For a long time. I'm a lover
and
of golf.
I'm coming around to the idea. I feel like I'm a little old to like, get good at the game, but it's fun.
Yeah,
you could have fun doing it. And like, we wanted to talk about some of like your favorite golf spots to go golf.
Yes.
And you're like an avid golfer.
Yes,
I would put you under the category of avid.
I would agree with that.
You are like, you're going never less than once a week, I would say.
In some capacity. I might not go play 18 holes.
You're trying to go multiple times a week.
Correct.
Or at least go hit balls. So we wanted to talk about like some of your favorite spots to golf, but also a spot you've been wanting to try.
Correct. Which we will.
Squared Up. And
we will try
I think we want to make that Trey tries it on a Tuesday.
Yeah, because basically it is Squared Up Golf is basically a spot that has like golf simulators similar to you could think of like a Top Golf kind of vibe culture of sorts, but they also
you can golf anywhere though. They like any course.
Yeah, any course that you would ever want to golf at. Because it's a simulator, you can go there. Whereas like a Top Golf, obviously you're just hitting it into like
the
a
abyss.
Net. But for this spot, like they have like
I think too
Squared Up Academy, right?
I think too they have like when you swing, like you can do like an academy where you can learn and be taught. They have instructors there that can teach you like the proper swing and stuff like that, but they can analyze it too. They have things where they can like see your swing and what the mechanics are and what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what you could change to get better and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna go and try this eventually. I think that would be great for us.
So I think they have the academy for like lessons and people that want to learn, but I think they also have I think you could just go do it for fun too.
Yep.
So you can go to the website and look, which
Squared Up Golf. So I'm going to try that eventually, and we will hopefully post something about it
sooner, hopefully, rather than later. Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
We should go do it. We'll take like Andy or something to go do it.
That'll be a good time.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But where are your like favorite spots as of like locally? Today? Yeah, what are your favorite spots to golf as of right now?
So my favorite spots to golf this is hard because the best course I've ever played on, I played on this past weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my friend
In Denver.
In Denver, yeah, I was in Denver this past weekend, and there was a place called Arrowhead Golf Club, and it was amazing.
Really,
it was a beautiful course. It's pricey, but it was
Denver.
Yeah.
Did you have a view of the mountains?
Yes. Yeah.
That's so
I think
cool.
I might have taken a picture, but I don't remember. But I'll have to show you later. Yeah, it was beautiful. Around here, I think Gateway is a really good golf course. That's in St. Louis. That's pretty good. Also, once again, kind of pricey. Locally, Sunset Hills, but that's a good course.
Is that like one of the bigger?
So Sunset is a private course, and so you got to know people to get onto that one.
I got you.
But courses that I play around here, Oakbrook Golf Club, like
Where is Oakbrook?
Oakbrook's in Edwardsville, but it's on the outskirts. It's over there. I mean, you're basically, I want to say you're on the way you're getting close to Hamel when you get over.
Gotcha. So it's out a little bit.
Yeah.
You go to the Legion a lot, right?
I go to Legion a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
That's where I have my membership. It's a great course. It's a great little par. It's just a little bit bigger than a par 3 course, but it is a 9 holes, and it's a good time.
I actually played spooky golf there one time.
You did. I have not lived here when there was an actual spooky golf, and I'm upset about it.
Spooky golf.
Explain to the people what spooky golf is.
Spooky golf is not something that's like widely advertised. One of our friends' mom puts on spooky golf, and it's basically, I think it's 9 holes they usually do. And you like hit off the tee, and I think they do a scramble where you just go to the best ball, and then they have each hole decorated like spooky or like in a different way, or you have to like putt with like a skeleton's foot or like it's just like fun stuff like that. It's just really, each hole has like a different theme and a different thing that you have to do. And it's just super, super fun.
Yeah, that sounds really, really cool.
I love it when she does it. She doesn't do it every year.
I know. I
got to do it once. I have not been
here yet when it has been something.
I got to do it once, and it's super fun. It's a blast. So if you're listening, please do spooky golf again.
I know.
I loved it.
I know. I
will go.
He's seen it. I've never seen it, and I want to be a part of it. So.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's super fun.
Anywho, any other questions for me about golf?
Golf. What golf course has the best sandwiches?
Sandwiches?
And remember I told you I wanted to talk about sandwiches today?
You found a way. I don't know.
You haven't eaten a sandwich.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
That may be a larger question than we can get into.
Because I would say...
I don't think a hot dog is a sandwich.
Okay. What is it?
It's a hot dog.
Fine. That's a fine answer.
Yeah.
The best sandwiches, I think Sunset has some really good food. Sandwiches. I've
had food there. Yeah, I think it's good.
They have some decent food.
They do have some good food. But I don't know. What's your, I guess, is there like a gauge so that people watching can tell your skill level? Like, what are you,
so
what are your stats right now?
I would say I'm a bogey golfer, or maybe just above a bogey golfer. So when I say that, I mean, you have par, which is like, you're doing great. Like that's
I know exactly what all these things mean.
Yeah. So par would be, if you're under par, you're scoring below the average, the score, like that's the baseline.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that on a regular basis, you're pretty good. If you're scoring par, you're solid. Bogey golfers you're well above average. And then kind of your double bogey. Most people are probably shooting in the hundreds. You play bogey golf, you're shooting in the 80s, low 90s, depending on the golf course. So
gotcha. Interesting.
Yep.
It's a
fascinating sport. It's
kind of a complex game.
It is. It's a very complex game. I think for me, I love golf so much because it's a mental game that I don't have to like do exercise. So Daniel loves tennis.
Yeah.
And I love playing tennis with Daniel. But it's a lot of exercise, and it's a completely mental game. Whereas golf, you're just walking, Yeah. You're walking and you're hitting, then you're thinking, then you're walking, you're hitting.
Thinking about your game.
Yep. It's a fun game. It's very peaceful. It's a way for you to get outdoors. So if you're interested in it, love to talk to you about it. But
yeah, I don't know if we have a lot of golfers that watch this.
I don't think we do.
Maybe we'll develop some.
Maybe we'll do a Evan tries it Tuesday, and Evan will try golf.
Try stuff I've never tried before.
Anywho, I have a wolf fact.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's Wolf Wednesday.
This
I got
fact
so distracted.
is fascinating to me.
I think I know which one this is. Go ahead.
So I am obsessed with wolves.
It's been well established on the previous
I am obsessed
video.
with wolves, and I am not I won't apologize for it.
I'm not asking for an apology. I love it.
So wolves, in one sitting, just think through this. In one sitting, so one meal at the kitchen table,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
can eat 20 pounds of meat.
20 pounds. That's as much as my kid weighs.
20 pounds of meat.
He weighs like 22 pounds right now.
That was a weird image that just went into my head.
What? I mean, I carry him around, so it's a good, like,
Can you imagine 20 pounds?
That's so much.
That's a lot of meat.
How many pounds of meat do you think you've eaten in one sitting before? 10?
In one sitting?
One meal. Have you ever been to the Brazilian steakhouses where they bring the food?
I feel like I've eaten probably the most I've ever eaten would probably like 8. I feel like I've maybe eaten.
I actually
5
think
to
that's. 8. I think that you couldn't. I don't think that's true because you'll eat like a 20-ounce steak, which is like.
How much is that? That's like a pound and a half.
That's like a pound and a half.
Oh, then yeah, I'm lying completely.
You've never
Let's
eaten.
go.
You've never
I
eaten 8
probably
pounds of meat.
maybe 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking like I've probably done two
maybe
and
2.
a half.
Right.
That's a lot. Like, wow. Whenever you really think about 20 pounds,
gosh,
that's like 20 New York strips. Whoa.
that's insane.
20 ribeyes that are a pound.
That's pretty crazy. 20 pounds.
Respect to our wolf boys
Honestly,
out there.
Arctic gray, red wolves. You guys are a phenomenon. Anyway,
This is going to be the most boring week of facts that we've ever done.
no wolf. Do not hate on the wolves.
I'm not hating on wolves.
You know what? You're about to make me want to wrestle my neighbor. Okay.
You know you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, we're closing the show. Thanks for joining us. Remember, don't wrestle your neighbor.
Don't wrestle your neighbor. Bye.
Even if they tell you they hate your facts. Bye.
Don't do it.